Yeah, and I guess I should note in asking that we would have the recusals out on the approval of the consent agenda. So you have other matters that are being approved with 3 voting and 2 recused.
Yeah, as we flesh this out, I think that somebody needs to stay, or both of you need to stay, just to maintain that quorum, and not to give anybody an argument that we did a non-school matter with 3 aldermen.
Are there any further proposed revisions to the agenda at this time? Any further proposed revisions to the agenda?
If we pulled that one item off consent, we'd be okay.
Yes.
Pull that off consent, we don't do the 17th on consent.
Mayor, let me recognize real quick. We're not going to make this long. Mr. Attorney, we have 5 members here, and we take the one item. You're saying we cannot approve that this evening?
You can. I would say the options are you can approve that one item with Alderman Walker and Alderman Maynard out of the room.
Okay.
Or you can approve that item with them in the room. But what I'm worried about is all the other consent items with 3.
Okay, so if I go ahead right now, that both of them 3, 4, and 5 are going to step out the room. I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda. I can make a motion to approve that one item with their absence. Then they come back in, we can approve the main consent agenda, and then we can entertain the general motion to recess.
That's correct.
So at this time, would it be okay if the mayor, is it okay if the chair, the gentleman from 4 and 5 can step out the room for this one item?
And you will carve that out as a separate consent item.
A separate consent item.
And the way I would prefer us do that is get through the approval of the consent agenda, move that item to the beginning of the agenda, get through the approval of the consent agenda, consider that matter, and then recess after you consider that.
Mayor, may I recognize?
You may.
Mayor, I move that we remove item 10C off the consent agenda.
And do you also want to reorder it so it's item 10A?
Yes, sir. 10A. Yes, sir.
All right. The proposed revision from Alderman Perkins is to remove item 10C from the consent agenda, reorder the agenda to make what was formerly item 10C, item 10A. That would be the first matter under board business, the approval of reappointing Reverend Lee E. Brand, Jr., Ph.D. to the Starkville Separate School District Board of Trustees for a term of 5 years. Alderman Perkins, is that your proposed revision?
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor.
Do I hear any objection? Any objection? Any objection? Any objection? Seeing none, the agenda has been so revised. Are there any further proposed revisions to the agenda?
Mr. Mayor, I don't think if there are none, I move approval of the consent agenda with that item being removed.
All right, first we'll hear approval of the agenda, then we'll hear the consent agenda. Are you making to approve the agenda as revised?
Yes, sir.
A motion has been made by Alderman Perkins to approve the agenda as revised. Do I hear a second?
Second.
All right, is there any discussion? Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please signify by saying nay. Measure. Was that a nay? All right, so I've got it as unanimous approving the agenda. All right, the agenda has been unanimously approved. You now have before you the approval of the consent agenda. Is there any objection to the approval of the consent agenda as revised? Any objection to the approval of the consent agenda as revised? All right, seeing none, the consent agenda as revised has been approved. That will take us to announcements and comments by the mayor and members of the board. I have no comments. Are there any comments from the members of the board? Alderman Wynn.
Tonight, Mayor and Vice Mayor and members of the board, we are operating without an entire board as 2 of our members of this. While the matters on this agenda are extremely important tonight, I move that we recess until we can do that business until Tuesday.
And for clarification purpose, you have not made the school board appointment.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
Yes.
Yes.
She will yield the floor to me, Mayor.
I'll yield the floor to him.
Alderman Perkins.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the approval of reappointing Reverend Lee E. Brand, Jr., Ph.D. to the Starkville Separate School District Board of Trustees for a term of 5 years.
Motion is, at this time, is there anyone wishing to recuse themselves before we enter discussion on that?
So there needs to be a physical recusal.
I have 2 members recusing. Let the record reflect that Maynard and Walker are recusing themselves from the discussion. And Mr. Attorney, it is your opinion that with recusals, 2 recusals and 3 members present, we've got a quorum to hear this motion.
We're doing the best we can given the circumstances, yes, sir.
All right, Alderman Perkins, proceed.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor, I move approval of reappointing Reverend Lee E. Brand, Jr., Ph.D. to the Starkville Separate School District Board of Trustees for a term of 5 years.
Motion has been made by Alderman Perkins to reappoint Reverend Lee E. Brand, Jr., Ph.D. to the Starkville Separate School District Board of Trustees for a term of 5 years. Alderman Perkins, is that your motion?
Yes, sir, Mr.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion has been seconded by Alderman Nguyen. Alderman Perkins, you wish to speak on the matter?
No, sir.
Any discussion? Any discussion? Alderman Little.
Ms. Harden, this was properly advertised, right?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
And how many applicants do we have?
And this is the only application that was received for this with Lee Brady.
Thank you.
Mayor, one other point. Recognize.
You may.
Madam Clerk, the deadline for letter submission for this position as advertised in the newspaper was 12 noon on yesterday, February 11, 2015. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, it was.
And thank you, Mayor. Thank you.
Further discussion? Any further discussion? Any further discussion? Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of Alderman Perkins' motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please signify by saying nay. Measure clearly passes. Could someone invite the two gentlemen that were accused back in the room? Here they go.
Mr. Mayor, may I be recognized?
You may.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, we are operating on that our entire board tonight. As a result of that, I think that it would be best if we recess until Tuesday, February 17th, at the hall at 101 East Duncan Street.
Is that a motion?
Yes, it is.
Motion has been made by Alderman Nguyen to recess this meeting of the Board of Aldermen until February 17th, 2015, in the City Hall courtroom at 5:30 in the City Hall courtroom at 101 East Lampkin Street at 5:30. Alderman Nguyen, is that your motion?
Yes, it is.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion's been seconded by Alderman Little. Alderman Nguyen, you wish to speak on the merits? Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please signify by saying nay. We stand in recess.